All right. Is this live or is this the fake start? It always does. We'll find out momentarily. Sip my water, see who rolls in. All right, should be starting any second now. Come on. All right, there we are, and we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would sit down, do a live for you guys and gals. Let me give you guys a forearm shot before we get started. Veins are on point. Those of you who saw the warning I put up, really the only warning people are going to get. I want to keep these lives good and entertaining. We're not going to allow any girl questions. If you guys need help on getting girls, this is not the place for it. I'm just going to block you. Maybe you can go somewhere else. Unless you pay to ask the question. You put it as part of a super. That will be the only exception to the rule. The warning has been given in my community tab, and that's it. So, topic we're going to cover before we get into your questions, guys and gals, is going to be diet dogmatism. All right. Diet dogma really has no place in fitness, no place at all. And it's nonsense. And what I mean is people who try to put these weird dogmatic anti-food rules, anti-whole food rules into health and fitness. And I get if it's your moral ideology, right? I have no trouble with someone being an ethical vegan. I get it, not my thing, but I can appreciate where they come from. I can even understand why they want other people to follow that belief because they believe it's morally correct. All right, I can't fault them for that. Okay, someone believing something is a moral, ethical choice and trying to encourage others to do it, you can't fault that. When they claim, oh, so all animal products are unhealthy, then it's a problem. See, that's a dogmatic ideology. Oh, it's just garbage. Now, do we all agree evidence-wise limiting saturated fat is good? Of course we do. Of course we do. That's reasonable, right? That's reasonable. Not all saturated fat comes from animals, though. There are plant sources that are problematic. But yes, generally speaking, should we be eating a mostly whole foods plant-based diet? Yeah, that's a perfectly reasonable approach. But to dogmatically claim it must then be all plant-based and all animal products are bad. See, that's putting a false ideology. That's putting an ideology into your nutrition. The same thing when the carnivores do this nonsense of, oh, we're against all plants. And so then when they start having problems and they realize they need carbohydrates, they add honey because their ideology says they have to eat animal stuff. Well, honey is not exactly a high-quality carb as far as nutrition goes. They're a problem. I'm not saying it doesn't have some benefits. Still refined fructose, right? Still refined fructose, but their dogmatic ideology pushes. Same thing when people get anti-grain. The evidence doesn't support that. Or people who jump up, I'm against all these anti-nutrients. Really? If you look at the evidence, if you cook the food, it's perfectly fine. It's because humans are generally cooked food eaters, right? Most of the foods that have some anti-nutrients that might be problematic in large amounts, they're fine once it's cooked. In fact, oftentimes they have health benefits after they've been cooked. So again, understand all this ideology and dogmatism has no place in actual evidence-based nutritional science or your health. Okay, but everyone wants to turn it into a political ideology or religious ideology or a cult. And there's no need for that. All right, let's get over and answer some of these questions. 1010 says, hello, Jason. Hello to you. Good night from Europe. Good night to you, too. Ben Willis says, sup, Jason. Sup, bro. What is the best exercise for biceps? Well, there isn't a best exercise. I happen to think barbell curls are great. I think preacher curls are great. I think incline curls are great. Those would all be in your top three. Okay? All right. But say a best exercise? Come on. Do you really think that's a realistic position? I don't. Bob says, you think eating meat that you've hunted is better than buying from the store? Nope. And I've hunted. Is it probably going to be leaner? Yes, but you could buy lean cuts of meat at the store. Okay. Perk in its favor. Odds of it being an unhealthy animal, having parasites, other stuff, pretty high. Okay. That's your downside. Plus, you got to kill it in the field, longer heat exposure. Right? It is not going to be as fresh because of the kill conditions out in the field sometimes. Sometimes it might be. But are you carrying an ice chest, dragging it right along next to your deer? How many minutes did you get him under ice? It took you an hour to get him on ice. It's not going to be as fresh. Going to have a higher bacteria count. So when you're asking the question, I'm going to say no. I don't think that it is. Just objectively. Ben Willis says having a great day. Yeah, I've had a pretty good day. And he says, are easy curl bars top 4? Depending upon the grip, I don't differentiate much between an easy bar and a straight bar. With the closer grip, where you're a little more palms up, I think it's fine. I think when you want that wide grip, you might get a little bit more out of a straight bar, though. If we're going to be, tit for tat, trying to get that last percentage of bicep activation, it's going to depend to some extent upon your grip width. And yeah, again, look at the biomechanics behind it. Look at what's happening at the joint angle, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Is bodybuilding is 90% about genetics at the elite level, but not necessarily. Anybody can still look good, okay? There's no amount of genetics that's going to prevent you from having visible abs. There's no amount of genetics going to prevent you from becoming 9 or 10% body fat if you diet. Yes, muscle shape, but everyone can gain muscle, okay? The difference is, are you going to be cover of magazine quality? Are you going to compete at the Mr. Olympia? Now, that's all going to be genetics. But for you to look phenomenal to the average person walking down the street, someone with subpar genetics can pull that off eventually. Okay, sorry, you can. All right. Omi says, I think humans got a bit complacent being domesticated when you expose yourself to the wilderness. I don't know about that. And I've done my amount of time outdoorsy. I don't necessarily agree. I mean, are you arguing philosophically or are you arguing health-wise? Matt says, thoughts on farmers' walks? Right? Thoughts on farmers' walks. I think they're a good form of GPP. I own a pair of farmers' walk sandals. You've seen me do them on camera before. Ben says, Jason, I really dislike people like Doucette who constantly demotivate his viewers by shoving genetics down their throats. Look how I'm looking these days, Ben. We get a lot of compliments, right? Everyone says I had the worst genetics in YouTube fitness. So again, consistency, hard work. You don't have to have great genetics to have a good physique. You don't. You have to have great genetics to win professional bodybuilding shows. Okay. Understand the difference. So Greg needs to piss off with that. He needs to quit demotivating his people. He needs to be uplifting them and telling them you can all have potential. No, you're not going to be Mr. Olympia. But can a guy who's just below average genetics, can he still, with hard work, consistency, good programming, good diet, obtain an impressive physique and an impressive level of strength? I say yes. Strength standards for farmers carry. There is no strength standard. It's not a strength exercise. I mean, how are we going to calculate this? It's going to depend on handle type. I mean, if it's going to be a strength standard, it's going to be what, a 2-second carry? 5-second carry tops? Do you see what I mean? So it's almost just going to be a rack pull and taking 5 steps and then setting it down. I don't know how we're going to calculate the number for that. Maybe you don't know what strength means. But it can't be like a 20-second carry because that's not strength. That can't be equated to strength. Strength is a production of force. So it's going to need to be at 5 seconds or less. Omi says, philosophically, being in a climate control home all day makes us lose our wild edge. Why do you need a wild edge? And again, I'm speaking as someone who has stalked animals in the wild, hunted wild boar. Okay. I've done all these things. I did these things growing up. Why do we need that wild edge? Now, if you want to do that, hey, man, and you enjoy that, more power to you. But I'm going to ask the question, what's the practicality of it? Why do we need that? Now, do you personally feel that you need it for some reason or you enjoy it? Does it bring fulfillment to your life? All right, then, go for it. I have no problem with that. Bastian says, thoughts on below the knee sumo rack pulls. That's the silliest shit I've ever heard of. Coach, you think you'll be able to add any more muscle? Yeah, I'm adding muscle. So, dude, I'm getting bigger now. What are you talking about? Making gains. I'm going to keep making gains. Body weight carry for 30 seconds. No, that's not strength. 30 seconds is not strength. It has to be a maximum weight. That is how we measure strength. 4-second carry. Do you see the problem? Then we've got to standardize it. Ben, they've already got the warning. I'm not giving any more. I gave the warning already. It's been in writing. Everybody knows it. I've told them in streams not to do it. I'm not even going to address it anymore. I'm just going to hit the button. It will not be allowed to disrupt my live streams anymore. Period. All right. Radish says, blessings from India, Coach. Well, blessings to you too, man. Appreciate it, brother. I tend to have a lot of fans in India. If I drop body weight, Scott Humphrey's asking, if I drop body weight, will I be weaker in the gym? Maybe, maybe not. It's not always that straightforward. It depends on how fast you do it, how lean you get, how your nutrition, how your training are as you do it. There's a lot of preppers out there. I don't think that they understand what would keep them alive during those situations. Do you really think there's going to be wild game to hunt in a true economic collapse? Historically speaking, has that ever worked out? Do you think hunting animals is going to keep you alive during the next economic collapse? What happened in the Great Depression in North America, in the United States? All the wild game were hunted to almost extinction within 3 months. That's why we had to have all this conservation stuff put in place later. All the deer and elk and everything were almost extinct by the end, before the first year of the Depression. They were almost entirely eradicated. That's it. There's not enough wild game. All right. Daryl says, dumb question, but what would someone's physique look like if they only did deadlifts and nothing else? It looked like trash. All right. Abdul says, I'm a coach. Who cares how much metal a person can move 12 inches? Does this matter? No, I care about strength standards. I care about big lifts, guys. But I think it all flows together. We need to be well-rounded. We need to look good. We need to be strong. We need to be fast, right? Well-rounded physical attributes. All right. Thoughts on deadlift bars being BS potentially? I've been doing a lot of my pulling with my stiff bar. I mean, I own 2 deadlift bars. But I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with stiff bars only being used in meets, to be honest. Wouldn't bother me one bit. Matt says farmers walk for distance, but that's a stamina test. That is not a strength test. So you don't have a strength standard, just stamina standard. Radish says there's a coworker who hardly eats and is way too skinny. Is it potentially eating disorder? Think it's no one's business. But it annoys me to hear people pick on the person. Meanwhile, they are obese. Well, yeah, they got no room to talk then. Lyle McDonald stated that for hypertrophy, most lifters do better dish over press for laterals and upright rows. No, they won't grow that front delt and that upper chest the same. Are you talking about just for shoulders back here? I would agree. Are we talking about the side and posterior deltoid? Then I will agree with him. But to say that overhead pressing doesn't have some really useful hypertrophy in a lot of areas, I'm not going to agree with that. But if you're specifically talking about that here, 100% agree with him. Omi says, saw your funny post about women. You realize that was a parody post, right? All right. 10, do you ever reverse bench more than 315? Yes, I have. But I don't have any of it on camera, so we're just going to say, nah, I guess not. I can't prove it, doesn't matter. No evidence, no lift. Them's the rules. They do farmers walks events and pro strongman, but strongman is not a measure of absolutes. Strongman as a sport does not measure strength. It measures athleticism with a strength component. So what relevance does that have to there being a strength standard? All right. That suggests I was meaning for GPP. Oh yeah, dude, half 50% body weight. Farmers walks for distance for conditioning, for general physical preparedness. I'll give that 2 thumbs up. Should performance athletes bulk if they need to gain, if they need to be bigger and at a higher weight, then they obviously have to. Hey, 1010, why we keep asking stuff like that? Do you see me discussing it on my channel these days? So you get one warning. See, I'm going to be nice today. I'm in a good mood, man. I'm feeling generous. Radish, what are the demographics of gym lifters in Texas? I don't have an answer to you there, dude. Sorry. Texas is extremely diverse, especially where I live, dude. I'm in Houston area. It's extremely diverse here. Enormous Asian populations. But that doesn't hold true through the rest of Texas. Keep in mind, Texas is about almost as big as India. It's a pretty big place. Seeing as pro strongman is debated, squat, deadlift, and sometimes bench alone with many other strength related, aren't they truly the strongest men on earth? Well, no, the strongest men on earth would be the strongest men on earth that we should measure. I mean, you have to go take them and compare them to other people. I don't think one sport has the dominance on that. Because you could have the strongest man in the world who competes in hammer throwing, and then you go test him and find out he outlifts the powerlifters on the power list. You see what I mean? How are you going to take that sport and say that? Now, that being said, strongman is geared towards really tall guys who are 400 plus pounds. So yes, they're going to be some of the strongest men on earth. 400 pound, 6'6" men who lift weights and take anabolics tend to be pretty damn strong. Hey, 1010, I can appreciate that, and that's why I gave you warning. But we need to quit bringing up this same silly stuff again. It would be appreciated. It just feels like trolling at this point. That's one of those topics I just don't feel like addressing 157th time. All right. Marco says, I'm at 18% body fat. I'm not sure if I should cut or just recomp for a while. I'm getting stronger. Don't want to ruin the progress. Well, what do you mean? That's a very straightforward question. Should you cut or recomp? I'm getting stronger and I don't want to ruin the progress. Then recomp. You answered your own question, man. Now, if you need to get leaner and being leaner is important to you, then go ahead and cut and accept that your strength progress is going to stall for a bit. And that's okay. So, but you've already said, I don't want to ruin the progress. Then recomp. So you answered your own question, and I helped you find the answer to your own question. All right. Radish, more East Asians here. But yeah, definitely both. Spencer Jones just finished the first week of Boring Big. I'm afraid it won't have enough frequency. Why would I have enough frequency? I train everything once a week. Do you think controlling the negatives is that important since you need to use less weight? Depends on how we define controlling the negative. Do you mean super slow negatives, or do you just mean a controlled negative? All right, this is a controlled negative. Or do you mean, I think the latter is largely worthless. I don't think it adds any significant training benefit. Just my opinion. Lars says, thoughts on MMA fighters like All-Star Overeem doing stronger powerlifting centric training for MMA. I think that's a smart approach. Or take what MMA fighters do, and then you see them doing some of the conjugate stuff, doing strongman type training. I think that will have phenomenal carryover. Absolutely phenomenal carryover to what they do. Obviously, they have to have the skills in the ring to go with it. The skills are first, but all that stuff will enhance it. Coach, I think you and all the fitness that you're wrong about calves. They need isolation just like arms. The compounds alone do little for growth. They do make them grow, though. But Bubby, do I train calves? Do a lot of my clients train calves? So take every vlog you've seen on my channel for the last month, myself and the clients who are doing vlogs. How many of us do calf raises? All of us. Does that remove the fact that squats do cause some calf growth, that sled work will cause calf growth? No, they do cause it. Now, if you want to maximize it, it would be a good idea to do some calf raises, right? But that doesn't mean that those exercises don't grow them. Ben says, does Eddie Hall need to do another major downsize for his health? He has already made enough money to where getting smaller won't hurt him financially. I would say probably, yeah, but he's also Eddie Hall. Are you going to tell Eddie Hall what to do? I wish you the best of luck with that. How important is it to understand physics to become a good lifter and coach? I think it's helpful. Abdul, I don't answer gear questions. And you asked the wrong question. If I were going to answer it, you would need to be very, 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 very specific on specific drugs, because that matters to the answer to your question. In other words, how much of it was myofibrillar hypertrophy and how much of it was transient storage factors? Well, that varies a lot. That will answer the question for you if you know what the ratios are on the very specific substance you were talking about. Stretch under load, now most studies say, but what does the slow eccentric have to do with stretch? All right, did you have to use a CPAP to breathe properly? Nope, I didn't. I chose not to. I probably would have needed one, which is one of the reasons I downsized and lost body fat, got leaner. That's why you see me walking around with all the veins now. Peppermint says, I caught another coach live, 2 on the trot now. Yep, welcome aboard. Jim says, hi, Jason, looking good, thank you. How have you made your veins pop? Weightlifting and getting leaner. No, I'm not a member of any club exquisite. There's just lots of local events and stuff, dude. It's just, dude, it's not, you don't have to be part of any clubs. I was at a club in the UK that I paid dues to. But that was a long time ago, and that's the UK. It's US is totally different. Dean says, does rice make you feel a bit sleepy soon after eating? Some I've always need a small nap. It might be slightly insulin resistant. Might be something to look at. Coach, do you find dudes who you meet in public give more respect because of your clearly good physique? Dude, I get compliments by men and women in public regularly. Radish says, are there a lot of TikTokers filming in gyms? I don't hang out in the gyms near me. I have a really good home gym. 10-10, slow eccentrics reduce stretch reflexes, so proportionate. So the proper stretch under load you need always some, what? Morgan Unfreeman, I'm not always going to say your full name. Morgan Unfreeman says, Coach, should 6-foot+ males avoid deficit deadlifts due to already bent over on the conventional? No, not necessarily. Coach, in your prime, talking the same special supplements as the other guys, do you think you could have competed in strongman? No, dude, I'm not like 6'3" or 6'7". I'm always, 10-10 says, I always talk about bodybuilding and strength matters. I am completely ignorant. It's a total different game. 550 Ben says, any tips on love handles? Yes, keep dieting, keep getting leaner. Oh, hold on. All right, that's an important thing I had to answer. All right, back to the questions, guys. Any tips on love handles? Just get leaner, dude. They will eventually die off. Just keep working at it. Your problem areas will go away. Obviously, you get more confidence now with shock to see how shredded you are. I literally get those words too. Like the grocery store not long ago, a dude walks by. I'm trying to check out my groceries. He's like, "Dude, you're ripped, man!" And he just kept walking. It's hilarious. All right. Ben Willett says, if you ever attempt to get a 405 bench, what body weight will you have to get up to? I'm not. I'm going to be 200 or less if I try it. I may push towards it, but it's going to be hard. I'm going to have to blow them teddies up, right? Man. That's on Andrew Tate's physique after he took. Did he really tear both of his biceps? Dude, that dude's something else. I honestly think that dude is straight up trolling you guys. There's no way he's serious about the stuff that he says or writes. He can't be. He's trolling you guys. Powerlifting and Olympic weightlifting is much more complex than bodybuilding. Yes, it is. Well, not really though, because bodybuilding you have to at the competitive level. There's a lot of refinement to be worked. I'm gonna disagree. Not at the pro level. At the pro level, I think it's just as complex. Coach, have you ever seen like a fast typer? Have you ever done? Yeah, 70 words per minute. In high school, I took a college prep typing class in high school, and I hit 70 words a minute. You also see me play guitar. Coach, would you ever be open to open your own gym? You give off a serious Grimek and Iron Guru energy feel. You could help out a new generation. I'm not going to discuss that publicly. Tendon says bodybuilding can be understood by even the most ignorant people at its basic, but not when you're talking about the refinement level at the professional level. I'm gonna say no. Jim, yeah. Oh, you cured it with the advice I gave you. Jamie says, what about muffin tops? Should I stick to fasting and leg raises? Keep dieting, dude. Fasted cardio will keep the protein high, keep lifting. It'll eventually go away. Got to create that deficit, but fasting and high protein will help. Would you say it's beneficial for progression gyms to start sleeping more than their genetic need? Yeah, dude, sleep will help you a lot. Adding an extra hour of sleep a night can work wonders for your gym gains. Does anyone else keep seeing someone in the background? No, there's no one outside of my backyard. That'd be a dead motherfucker. All right. So I didn't say that. My bad. Bad. Light that ass up. You don't even got to give a warning at that point. All right. Have you ever been in the dark web? No. Oh, hell no. Nope. Michael Hearn still do. Michael Hearn looks phenomenal. Again, we can clown Mike about being a fake natty all we want, but dude is impressive. Coach, are there any exercises to target the pelvic muscles you would recommend? Hanging leg raises, vacuums. How would you do? I don't know. My arms would need work. I've got to obviously get leaner. You guys haven't really seen me because I always have at least shorts on, so in angles. But my arms have to get bigger before I could even consider something like that. Coach, should you lock out on push downs and extensions? Is it natural or is linked in partials? No, I think locking out can be helpful. I mean, it's not the end of the world, though. I mean, tit for tat. I think it depends on the exercise specifically. Ben says, I cured my ED when I noticed you improved your physique. Thank you. Oh, my God. Oh, you know what? I'm going to take the compliment, dude. All right. Coach, what's your approach to mobility, stretching? I don't do a lot of stretching. Everlast, Jason, what feels better, being ripped with bicep veins, getting compliments in real life, or getting stronger winning powerlifting beats? Man, dude, haven't experienced both. I think they're both unique. I wouldn't say one necessarily feels better than the other. They're just a different type of win. But I think I saw the other squirrels, definitely squirrels. Is fasting weightlifting good, or should you be eating before lifting? I train fasted, dude. Kevin, I train fasted. You see me doing those rep work with 315 on the bench all the time. I'm completely fasted. I have black coffee. That's it. Coach, been supplementing with D3 is our best time to take it, probably in the morning. He tore both of them. So when Andrew Tate went in his tensest biceps, what would your advice be to Andrew Tate? Dude, Andrew Tate needs to just chill with his crazy manosphere stuff. That would be a start. How do you handle gay dudes hitting on you? Just be very polite about it, exquisite. You know, I usually just like, hey man, I'm flattered, I appreciate it, but I am strictly taco, no burrito. Lars, you seem like a graduate educated on nutrition and psychology. Did you ever go to grad school? No, I didn't go to grad school. I did take 27 hours of psychology though. Coach, at what stage in your lifting career should you visit the doctor for physical exams, blood work? Is it unnecessary? I mean, whenever you feel need to go, dude, you do for a physical, go get one. Zerchery, you already know the answer to that. Everybody knows the answer to that. I'm not going to go there. That's why I don't drink. All right. And we're getting borderline to girl questions. Are you doing sets of 5 these days? Ben, my vlogs are all up. I do some stuff as low as 1s and 3s on the big 3. I do a little bit of stuff in the 5s for maybe like incline, overhead. Most of my work is 8 to 12. Majority of my training is 8 to 12 reps. Do you like metal bands like Dio or Halloween? I like Dio. I don't like Halloween. I do like Dio though. I mean, Holy Diver is a classic. So it's Shot in the Dark. What do you think about Dr. Mike's minimum effective volume chart? I think it's probably too high. Or do you prefer rock? Dire Straits is one of my favorite bands of all time. Yeah, Jim, lifting weights. I mean, that's a valid. See, there we go. That's a valid fitness question related to the dude's sex life. His ED had a devastating effect on his mental health and marriage. Lifting weights and getting in shape helps you, right? Perfect, beautiful, and it will. It absolutely will. Adam B says, Coach, I can deadlift 250, squat 200, but only bench 110. Would you ever recommend benching? Nope, you don't need to bench 4 times a week. Dude, you could bench once a week and just stay consistent with good programming and progressive overload. Your bench will go up from where it is. Promise you. Ben, I missed what you deleted down there. Kevin says, excellent, man. Thanks for the info. I really want to lose some weight around my waist. You're definitely an inspiration. Keep pushing it, man. Fire. Hey, brother, I appreciate that. But no, I mean, I do fasted lifting and I do fasted cardio in the mornings right now. That has been part of my weight loss. But keeping in mind that that's mainly about calorie control. I don't think fasting is magical. It's just another tool in the toolbox. Do you still plan on starting to run again? No, I really don't feel like running. I mean, I thought about it. I'm fine with the weight vest walks and sled work and stuff. Abdul, yeah, no, that's just the way it is. You know, you deal with it. If you guys get jacked, you're going to have dudes hit on you. It's unavoidable. Just learn to deal with it. Does YouTube offer health coverage for content creators, or it's out of pocket? Or says, are you Jewish? No, I'm actually not. I'm actually Czech. So it would be Yashamash. Radish says, Coach, did I say it right this time, Radish? Coach, how can I deal with jet lag from work? Dude, just deal with it the best you can. Do you like any rock band MTV Unplugged albums? Oh, man. Yes. Oh, I love that question. All right, the Nirvana Unplugged is absolutely one of my favorite albums of all time. Right? Banger after banger after banger. Easily one of the best albums ever created. Phenomenal performance. Especially with Cobain singing Where Did You Sleep Last Night? Ethereum says German volume training to get through a squat or bench plateau. No, I wouldn't recommend it. Ben says I deleted because I misspelled this. Like, okay, we'll get down to your question. It's down there again. Can you play Sultans of Swing 10-10? I haven't messed with it in a while, but you saw me starting to do it. I put up some of it when I was relearning the guitar of a little bit of Sultans of Swing. Yeah, it should be on the channel. Coach, I recently injured my bicep and shoulder tendon, but I never followed up with a doctor. Should I continue grinding? No, dude, you need to rehab it. Ted Nugent's pretty good, yeah. Abdul, I don't know what the ratio these days. It's like 1-to-1. What's the best way to talk a friend or loved one out of trying carnivore? Just tell them how stupid it is. Like, seriously, if you need to, slap them. Do you have a pump right now? Daryl, I've been sitting here for 35 minutes. How could I have a pump? This is not even a training day. No, I wouldn't do a pump on a Sunday because I have to bench tomorrow, and I bench heavy first thing in the morning. I don't want any fatigue. Like that is my most important training session is the chest and triceps right now. So I don't want any upper body fatigue. I only do weight vest walks. That is the only exercise I do on a Sunday. So as funny as it sounds, I'm not even risking a pump, an arm pump. But I mean, I've been sitting here 35 minutes, so it's not like I've had time to do sets and get over right in front of the camera, even if I wanted to. I noticed in Taiwan there aren't many serious gyms or serious lifters. Most people are really skinny. Hotel gyms are bad. Jim says the veins are popping out. Keep up the good work, especially right that one right there. Right. Look at that. It's like somebody stuck a catheter under my skin. It's getting pretty crazy. Even I'm kind of like, where did that come from? When did that happen? Let's keep training. Do you get any looks from anybody admiring your guitars when you play at Guitar Center? No. Dude, there's some good players in there. I would love to see you play classic rock. I've got classic rock clips up on here. Dixon, yeah, says, greetings, coach. Greetings, man. Abdul says, how many guitars do you have? Would you call yourself a Renaissance man? You seem to be a man, intellect, lifter, mentor, coach, athlete, and all. Yeah, maybe, I suppose so. I mean, yeah, Ben, it's out there in the open. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. Again, I'm strictly taco, no burrito, though. But I mean, I don't hate. Like, I don't even think it's a big deal, to be honest, anymore. People are what they are. Will combining chest and back improve tendon recovery? I don't know about that. Long Lars, how long did you ignore during bicep work? Years. Do you have any tips with progressive ab rollouts on the knees? Too easy but standing too hard. Just do more reps on the knees so you get stronger then. All the people from Golden Era who applied volume training herniated disc toward kneecaps, destroyed rotator cuffs, maybe. Jim, I'm not going to give you advice on that. Do you think getting leaner will help you break through and build a big outreach? I absolutely know it will. I think if I keep getting leaner and leaner and more jacked, it will absolutely grow my outreach, 100% chance. Since I'm not going to discuss my private life or what I drive. That right biceps is freaking huge, bro. I don't know about that. My arms need more. My arms are still my worst body part. They got to come up. I need to add an inch to my arms. What I need to do. Next piece of gym equipment. Until I get a bigger house, nothing. Coach, do you think that David Goggins' fat is dying down? This over-exaggerated emotional influencer hype is getting stale? I think so. Could you make a video on sleep and gains? Yeah, probably. Do you have any clients you contact using Line or WhatsApp? If so, nope. I have them all do it through Messenger. Dorian Yates is also crippled too high intensity is risky. It's important to find your own groove with every tool. I agree with that point. It's important to find your groove. What's your favorite current muscle group to train? Chest. I like bench and incline a lot. Favorite muscle car? I'm gonna go with a '68 Camaro. Oh man, I like a '68 or '70 Chevelle though. That's a hard call. Can we just pick? Can I give two? '68 Camaro and a '70 Chevelle. I have a narrow clavicle. What, dude? I need to measure my clavicle one day. I think you guys will shit yourselves. I don't have a narrow clavicle. Oh. Keeping in mind the average male clavicle is 19 inches, by the way. Incidentally, that is spec'd that way on an ACOG. RXL says, I saw you doing neck harness work. You just do that one exercise. That's the only one I do. Abdullah, the look is everything. That is how they got their outreach. When you said that you recommend workouts take no more than an hour, would you still apply that to upper, lower, below? But I'd apply it to everything, right? Will you ever make philosophy-related content and tie it in with lifting? I mean, I've thrown some philosophy in here already, sometimes here and there. Yeah, dude, Messenger has video call. I mean, I have Skype and other stuff too. I mean, I've got a lot of Microsoft stuff though. But yeah, Messenger does video calls. It's always done video calls for freaking years. Coach is adding additional unilateral work for arms after main arm lifts and compounds overkill. No, not necessarily. I don't think it is overkill. If you need the work, you need the work. What are some good exercises that can build the overhead press other than upright rows? The overhead press. I mean, anything that builds your delts will help. What's your favorite tricep exercise? My triceps are lacking. Man, that's hard to call. Any sort of incline extension I really, really like just for feel, if I had to narrow it down to favorites. But yeah, Jim, they are right. You put us chill with the marriage questions at this point. No need for it. All right. Did you take a lot of philosophy classes? I'm trying to think. I know I took ethics. I know I took a bunch of stuff. I did a paper on actually Nietzsche, which is kind of funny, all things considered. Sorry, Nietzsche. Considering who hates me. Yeah, I did a whole research paper on Nietzsche and his whole Superman thing. I'm not necessarily a Nietzsche fan, but I did do a paper on him. Given that sleep is ultra important, do you have any tips that you've learned over the years for sleep quality improvements? It's hard to get anything over 8 hours for some reason. 7 hours is when I wake up. Yeah, man, try melatonin, work on your sleep hygiene. I'm sorry, I didn't get Nietzsche's full name. Since I did a paper on him, let's get the full name. It was Friedrich Wilhelm Nietzsche. All right. Coach, buy a cable station, start doing this overhead cable. Variable saying, Coach, I didn't know you played guitar. Yeah, dude, I play guitar. Omar, yeah, it's grown my outreach. I've picked up like 1,000 followers since I started cutting. There's nobody in the background. I live to the song Big Dogs. It's all I listen to on the ride to the gym. I don't know that song. Jim says, how can men in their 40s improve the endurance, vascular strength of their muscles, lifting weights and cardio, dude? Pretty straightforward. 1010, I'm not discussing who I'm voting for or politics. Any books you are currently reading? Note. You look more aesthetic without the beard. Your face looks a lot more watery with the beard. That's fine. I don't care. Women's like the beard. Thoughts on? All right. Kapow! Peter's gone. Coach, do you have any interest in historical battles, medieval and heraldry? Yes, I do. Just not lately. I used to like that a lot. Coach, great chest and tricep session today. Team Blaha getting me jacked. There you go, brother. This is the way, man. I'm going to give you a fist bump through the screen. Abdul, we've already made it clear. I just have to get leaner. Dan gave a donation. Because since he said that name, he didn't want me to ban him. We're gonna let it slide, bro. Yes, he's the hyperplasia, the hyperatrophy. All right. Do you do any sort of pre-bred cardio or in the morning? How many hours a day do you sit? Quite a few, because I run social media and a coaching business. I do a lot of it though with my phone, so I can doing other stuff. Favorite period of history to study? I don't know that I have one. What do you mean when you said Nietzsche didn't like you? No. I said I'm not necessarily a Nietzsche fan. I did a paper on him. I thought it was interesting, but I don't adhere to his philosophies. What's the best bang for your buck between brown rice, sweet potato, and oatmeal? Well, sweet potato is not the best bang for your buck. It's probably brown rice or oatmeal. Is bent over row on plyo box 12 inches great for stretch under my feet? Well, further, yeah, I think it can be reasonable if you want the stretch. Keep doing the streams. Been following you for years. That's still amazing. Appreciate it, brother. You don't think you were lean and jacked enough? I got to keep getting leaner, dude. We need to have deep abs. The love handle's got to be gone. The skin's got to be tight. Tight. I'm just going to keep taking my time with it. Nietzsche didn't like Slav. Yeah, I'm Slavic, so good point. Yep, I am the true Slav. Do you know who Survivalism? That's that guy you guys keep telling me about who eats raw meat. He sounds like a complete jackass. Are you still doing box jumps? No, I haven't been doing any plyo work. No, I don't have any urges to play video games anymore. It's such a waste of time and productivity. You're already leaner than 90% of people, man. Yeah, but that's not good enough, dude. This is a competitive market. I think you'd look great at this leanness. Don't overkill it. No, we got to keep going more. What's your opinion on the bro? Let's not dog whistle and act like I don't know what that means. I don't need that in my channel, dude. Come on. You can take your Nazi stuff somewhere else. But no need for it here. First warning. Are you still rubbing vitamin E on the excess skin? I haven't been doing it lately. Why does Michelle do sit-ups upside down on a black punching bag? Because she's bad mofo, that's why. She also does them on different things. Like she does a ton of ab work. She does that from her boxing days and because it just looks cool. I haven't uploaded clips where she punches it between. Because she still practices boxing. Would you ever take on a client who's also a competitive eater? Yeah. Why wouldn't I? If you keep doing streams and talk more openly about some things, the problem is 1010, I can't talk openly about some things. All right. If you could get a tour of the universe or witness every event hidden known to man, I don't know. Sit on my horse, I'll take you around the universe. And all the other places too. You guys know that thing. That was an old viral thing on YouTube. Man, I'm old. All right. Old Jason Blaha was like a truck on YouTube. He knew you know better than anybody. Yeah. How much sets of abs I do if I want abs faster? A few sets a week. I think lifting is the fountain of youth. You look so young, and you know that horse song. Yeah, the horse song. Sit on my horse. How long will you take you to get a true? And I don't know, dude. However long it takes. Do you have clients who can't do interviews due to social anxiety? Yeah, so. Jason, what does Glock City mean? All right, do you not know the rap song Rack City? Okay. So that's where it came from, right? Rack City. So, Coach, I have started swimming and developed what I think is called swimmer's knee. Do you think I should quit swimming if I want to keep on squatting? I don't know what swimmer's knee is. I don't know what swimmer's knee is. What is that? Maybe. All right, guys, I need to go ahead and wind this down. Try to get one of these in tomorrow, though. So, hope it's been informative. I love all of you guys and gals. I will talk to you next time. If you guys a forum shop before we go, and we're out.